So first of all, yes, I moved. That took a while. Second of all, thank you so much for the 100 subscribers. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but to me it means that there's at least 100 or so people that care about what I have to say, and maybe 100 people that I've helped, and that just means the world and makes me want to keep going. So if you've subscribed, thank you so much, and if you haven't, subscribe now, I guess. Now, for today's video, what kind of experience will be valuable in your journey in becoming a psychologist? So by that I mean, what kind of experience is good to get into assistant psychologist jobs, or what kind of experience is good to get on the doctorate. So depending on which stage of your career you are, you might find this video useful. The video will have 4 parts. The first part will be a very brief introduction to like assistant psychologist jobs requirements, because there are some things that you do need and that are non-negotiable. And the rest of it is going to be, on the one hand, clinical experience jobs, and on the other hand, research experience jobs. And ideally you should try to get at least one of each so that your experience can be varied. And in the last section, I thought that I would make a little warning about the red flags that you can look out for when you're trying to apply for assistant psychologist jobs. So if you've been applying to jobs not being really sure if they're the right ones, if you're blanking and you don't know which jobs to apply, or if you're just about to graduate and you want to get an idea of where to focus your attention, then this video will be useful and you should keep on watching. So part 1, introduction and requirements. The first non-negotiable thing that you need to get an AP job is to have a BPS accredited undergraduate degree. You need that. So usually you would need to have graduated, or you would be applying to those jobs when you're just about to graduate. You should already have an idea of your results at this point, because they will not take you on if you don't have that degree. Don't waste your time applying for AP jobs if you're your second to last year, because they will not even look at your application, and it is a waste of your time and energy. I wouldn't say it's impossible to get an AP job straight after uni. It is possible if you actually spend quite a lot of your time in your last year of uni trying to get the experiences that I will talk about in the next 2 sections. So if you focus on making yourself more employable in your last 1 or 2 years of uni, you could get an AP job straight away, which is always good. Another thing that I wanted to put quickly in the intro is that I will be giving some examples of job titles that you should look out for. But those job titles, that's all they are. They're just titles, and what really matters is the actual duties, requirements, and most importantly, what you get from it. So if you see a job that is support worker, maybe you don't think that you can gain much from it, or that it's not related to what you want to do. But if you look at the people you actually are going to be working with, are there going to be any psychologists or trainee psychologists working with you as well, like in the multidisciplinary team that you can maybe connect with and get feedback or career advice from. Sometimes a job doesn't look like much, but it has so much more to offer. As long as you get direct experience with a relevant client group, that will be relevant experience. You know what? Even jobs that you would get in hospitality, service industry, retail, they can still be valuable in terms of giving you some transferable skills. So I don't want you to get too hung up on the job titles, but to really look for what you can gain from the job. And this is exactly what you're going to want to look for when you're applying for AP jobs and a doctorate, to reflect on what your experience has given you. They do not care if you have such and such experience as a blah 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 if you do not tell them what you gain from it, because everyone could have that position. What makes it unique to you, and why did it make you a better candidate? I hope this makes sense. So, section 2, research experience. This is something that I personally feel I am lacking at the moment, so I am really trying to focus on improving that. First experience is your university experience. Do not just discount it because you went through it and you went through the motions. You have gone through research methods, modules, you've done a lot of statistical tests, small-scale research projects, your last final large-scale research project. You've got some transferable skills like time and task management, organizational skills, communication, you've done some PowerPoint presentations, you've worked individually, you've worked as part of a team and groups with fellow peers, you've learned probably, Word, Excel, SPSS, maybe other softwares. I would suggest and recommend that you sit down, maybe even have a look at your transcript or old modules, handbooks. Look at what they tell you in the section about the aims and what they're hoping that you get from the module. Try to look at that and reflect on whether you did get it, and then you can make a list in a notebook of literally like all the bullet points of what you gained from your undergraduate degree, and that will be good talking points for interviews, and also also maybe will make you realize what you think you're lacking or the stuff that you're an expert at. Also important in the undergrad is that you gain all the theoretical knowledge about all the psychological theories. When you're applying for AP jobs, they really want you to show that you can apply all those theoretical and psychological models to real life settings, but to do that in the first place, you need to have a knowledge of those theoretical models. So brush up your knowledge on what you've learned, for example, behavioralism, social psychology, theory of planned behavior when you're talking about health psychology. So there's quite a lot of them that are really relevant to mental health. So try to look back on your notes, go on the internet and look up relevant psychological models. Yeah, keep that at the forefront of your mind. Okay, secondly, master's experience. Now, I know this isn't as accessible and it's just not for everyone. I want to emphasize that usually they do not require you to have a master's. And if they do, maybe you shouldn't want to work for them because I doubt that they will match the pay to that qualification, which I will talk about more in the red flags to look out for. But if you want to go for it, go for it. I'm doing a master's right now. Do the master's. You're gonna get a lot more research experience. It's gonna be great. You're gonna be able to do another project, and usually supervisors in the master's really push you to publish it. So that's gonna be such a valuable piece of research experience. Is gonna be to publish your research or present it to a conference, get involved with whatever they offer, ideally involving a clinical population, dissemination of research either through poster, conference, or group, or articles, peer-reviewed articles. It's probably, depending on which master, is going to give you contact with clinical psychologists, and usually they're more than happy to discuss with you your career, give you some advice, and yeah, connect with people, make some connections and links, and network. And also, it will give you an advanced knowledge of statistical methods and research methods that you would not have gotten in your undergrad. You can always learn that yourself if you're motivated. Okay, thirdly, voluntary research assistant. Again, that one is not as accessible because it's voluntary. That is such a good way to get research experience early on when you're even the first year in your undergrad of psychology. Contact your lecturers, look out for opportunities, try to get involved as much as you can, be opportunistic. If anyone needs help, like PhD students, master students, or lecturers and tutors, they might advertise the positions, they might not, and they're going to be voluntary. Make yourself known, be eager, tell people if you hear of anything or if you know someone else wants someone, I'm here. Make yourself available and professional, and before you know it, you might be a part of a small team doing some research. Just be polite, be eager, accept that it might not always lead to something, keep going, keep trying. They will look good on that. This is really great for AP jobs and also for the doctorate. And then fourthly, research assistant. That one is basically the same thing, but it's paid, although the only difference, again, is that it's going to be so much more competitive because everyone wants them. So it might be as difficult to get this research assistant job compared to getting that AP job, but who knows, maybe you have more of the skills and experience that they look for than the AP, and then having that Area A experience will get you the AP one more easily.